Right now, Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We've got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome inside the Fan Cave. This is the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. Bob Pompeani here. Tonight, Andrew Fillipponi is up at 93.7 The Fan. We typically will simulcast this. The Pirate game is over. They may have a postgame or they may not. If we're on the air, welcome to all of you driving around. And Andrew, this was a day that started with the Mike Tomlin press conference, which saw a change in the depth chart. Not what many people had wanted or expected, perhaps. It came on defense when Montravius Adams jumped ahead of Tyson Alualu. Nothing on offense, despite some really anemic offensive numbers, and yet they'll go into this game as a favorite. Maybe the last time they're going to be favored until the New Orleans game, maybe after the bye week. I don't see another team that they're going to face in the next 5 weeks that will be underdogs to them. Your thoughts?
Bob, this reminded me of when they fired Todd Haley after a playoff game in which they scored over 40 points. That the solution to the offense or the Steelers' problems is by replacing the nose tackle. Alualu is one of the most respected guys in that locker room. He's pretty much best friends with Cam Hayward. So I'm eager to hear what Hayward has to say about this being the solution. A guy that they were begging to get back last year, who all Steelers defensive players were saying he's going to make a big difference when he gets healthy. And now 3 games in, he's out. He's not allowed time to figure things out. He gets benched for a guy the Steelers claimed off of waivers late last year. But let's have all the faith in the world and patience when it comes to the Steelers offense, which, by the way, Bob, Mike Tomlin says it's getting better with every game. Now tell me if this sounds like it's getting better. A Browns defense that gave up 31 points to Joe Flacco just held you to 17, and you scored 3 in the second half. Does that sound like getting better to you?
Oh, no. It sounds like it's getting worse, and it sounds like they're ignoring some of the things they say they'd like to change or fix. That would be the middle of the field. We often ask about tempo, and it seems like the only time
they are changing the middle of the field. They're putting new sod on. They are literally changing the middle of the field.
Well,
it makes no sense, Bob. They should change the outside of the field at Acrisure Stadium because that's all the Steelers use offensively.
It's
Keep
absolutely
the old
true.
field
And
in
they
the middle
also,
and get new turf for the receivers on the outside.
There's no tempo. They say they use it, they say it's part of a plan, but when they do use it, it seems to have some success, and yet they don't use it enough, at least for me, especially when it seems so limited in some of the play calling. It looks stale. It looks very ultra-conservative, and I thought by now it may change. Now, this is only week 4. We'll see. This is a get-well week for the Steelers, right? I mean, this is – I hate to
Bob,
use must, but I would use –
it's not get well. It's season on the line. Ed Bouchette tweeted today he came out of retirement. The guy is drinking Mai Tais somewhere, and the old Steelers sage of the Hall of Famer said, is this a must-win? It's not hyperbole. They can't, in my opinion, they can't write their season if they lose to the lowly Jets on Sunday. 5 days from now, it's a playoff game for the Steelers at Acrisure Stadium.
Yeah, I said it's as close to must game as you can get. And quite frankly, I think if I had to put a lock of the year, it would be on the Steelers this week. Because after this, I do not think that they're going to be favored in any of these games, and it would take just to go 2-2 in those games. What do you got? The Bills, you got Tampa, then you have road games to Miami and Philly. And I realize 3-0 teams at the beginning of the season can change and turn into bad teams. We've seen it over and over again. Conversely, teams that start slow get it together. But this is a big game. They have, they're thinking about this year. This is the game they have to win, and hopefully for them, get some mojo on offense. They haven't scored more than how many offensive points? I think 44 total, Andrew. They average 14.7 per game. In the NFL, in the year 2022, you will not win when you average 14 points a game.
Bob, the Cincinnati Bengals, they won the toss, and they wanted the ball against the Jets defense. 95% of teams defer the coin toss. The 0-2 Bengals said, let's put our offense on the field against this Jets defense, and they drove it right down there. 11 plays, scored a touchdown. Joe Burrow set a personal record with 170 passing yards in the first quarter. I was just watching a video before we came on the air. One of the Jets captains on defense said, with our so many mental mistakes, we're beating ourselves. We need a meeting because guys have no idea what they're doing out there. Memo to the Steelers coaches. Go up tempo. You want to make a confused defense look even more lost? Speed up the game. If the Steelers don't do that, Bob, it's because of arrogance and hubris, and they would be putting their own personal agenda ahead of what's best for the team.
You're preaching to the choir. I've been talking about tempo for several years. And when we see it, we see good results. When we don't see it. We're going to take a break. We also have the Pirates and the Penguins were in action tonight. And the question is, who had a bigger crowd? I was trying to figure that out as I took a look at both. We'll talk about that. And we'll get your calls on the line. It's 412-575-2600. We're right here. It's the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. Don't go away.